Peace. What's happening, good people? This gift here for Payusnomind. Now let's talk about music monetization. YouTube versus Spotify versus Beehiiv. Now, Beehiiv might be a strange addition here because it's a newsletter, but I put it here for a reason because I wanted to highlight the fact that this is where I see the industry going and compare it to the main ways that artists choose to monetize to showcase the difference and dive into why it should become the focus of artists moving forward. YouTube. Now with YouTube, there's a monetization threshold. You got to get at least 500 subscribers if you're an artist and 3,000 hours watched. Now, on average, people might spend about 30 seconds watching a video. So that means that an artist, the average artist, would need over 500,000 views before they qualify for monetization, even if they reach the threshold of subscribers. So you have artists with 2,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, and still don't qualify for monetization with YouTube because they failed to reach the 3,000 hours watched threshold. One way that artists try to qualify for the monetization threshold is through advertising. But watch time from ad views are disqualified. They do not count towards monetization. And subscribers that are earned from ads are disqualified as well. They don't count towards monetization. So if you get views from ads, the watch time from that doesn't count. If you get subscribers from ads, doesn't count towards monetization. Only organic activity contributes to you reaching the monetization threshold. Now, visibility on YouTube is controlled by the algorithm. Now, the algorithm doesn't just consider a user's relationship to your content. It considers a user's relationship to your content relative to their relationship with all of the other content on YouTube. So you're effectively in competition with all of the other content on YouTube, where you've got to get just as many views on your videos as they get on their videos. And you have to upload just as many videos or as often as they do, or you lose ground. And that is all subject to the type of content the user consumes most often. So somebody that watches sports videos all of the time, if you do music, you're not going to rank high for that person. You're not going to have your music served up to that person often because most of the time, YouTube is going to be serving them up more sports videos. ESPN, Fox Sports, other people talking about what happened with the game, things of that nature. Now, on top of all of that, YouTube does not provide you with a way to communicate with your audience beyond uploads. So you can upload videos, you can post to the community tab, you can upload shorts, and all of those things are controlled by the algorithm. So if YouTube decides to not show your subscribers your videos, you don't get views. If they decide not to show your subscribers your community tab posts, they don't get seen. If they decide to not show your subscribers your shorts, you don't get views on your shorts. And there's no way for you to force the issue because you can't send a message, you can't send an email. They don't give you the email addresses of your subscribers. They don't even give you the email addresses of your paid members because they have memberships where people can pay to subscribe to your channel. And even if users do that, they don't give you their email addresses. So it's Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave because if you leave, you're leaving your subscribers behind. Spotify. Now, Spotify has a monetization threshold as well. You must get at least 1,000 streams per track every 12 months. Yes, every 12 months. It's not 1,000 streams once and then the song qualifies for monetization. It's a cycle of every 12 months. So effectively, you can't have a song fall under 84 streams a month, or that song will fall out of monetization. Spotify also does not give you any access to your audience, and access to your audience is controlled by its algorithm. So Spotify decides whether to put your music on an algorithmic playlist, whether your song should show up in the top 10 or 20 songs when somebody puts it on a playlist and hit the shuffle button. All of that gets dictated by Spotify. So you don't control whether people engage with your music or not. You have no ability to force the issue. This is why you see some Spotify artists have like 10,000 followers and earn 100 streams. It's because Spotify doesn't serve their music to the people that are following their accounts. Now, additionally, you are also in competition on Spotify. You are in competition with key interest groups like major labels and major indie labels, because we all share the same pie. There is one pie, and the more streaming activity you get, the bigger slice of the pie you get. And if you get a bigger slice of the pie, that means somebody else gets a smaller slice of the pie. And that somebody else is major record companies and major indie labels. Now, Spotify is dependent on their catalogs to drive subscriptions. That's what people sign up for. People sign up for access to the music of Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran and all of these different types of mega superstar artists. What they do after they subscribe is borderline irrelevant, because they are the reason why they subscribe. But if these entities don't get the lion's share of the profits, then they don't see the value of having their catalogs on Spotify and will cancel those licenses. And then Spotify doesn't have any carrot for subscribers. So their goal is to protect the interests of major labels and major indie artists, to protect their business interests. And this is why you have such a big issue with streaming fraud and them cracking down on do-it-yourself artists that are uploading music through TuneCore and CD Baby and DistroKid and things of that nature. This is why that is a major problem. So artists have to deal with the possibility of, if they find success, getting flagged with streaming fraud and removed because of the threat that they pose to major record companies and major indie labels. Beehiiv. Beehiiv is a newsletter, but it's like a supercharged newsletter that I feel completely changes the game and opens up a lot of opportunities for music artists in the music industry, the do-it-yourself music industry. So first off, there is no monetization threshold with Beehiiv. And why is it even relevant to talk about a monetization threshold with a newsletter? It's because Beehiiv has an ad network where they have advertisers, they have ad inventory similar to YouTube and Spotify, where you can pick ads and just make money from sending out email blasts. And you get paid every time somebody opens the email, even if it's the same person opening the email multiple times. They also have an affiliate network where other newsletters can take advantage of a feature they have called Boost, where they offer to pay an amount per subscriber they get from your newsletter, where if you feature them or a promo from their newsletter and somebody click it and subscribes to their newsletter, they'll pay you $2, $5, $10, whatever have you, for every subscriber that you drive to their newsletter. So you get paid for every email open. You get paid for every sub you drive to an affiliate, and you control your audience. If you have 1,000 subscribers and you send out an email blast, it is a 100% delivery rate. Unless those people have abandoned that email address, 100% of those people will get that email. If they're all engaged and open that email, that is 1,000 opens. Now, why I love Beehiiv and what they're doing, and I feel like it's a game changer, is because of that ad network and that affiliate network. And the reason why I like those things so much is because of the fact that we're in the attention economy. That's where all of the money is. The money is in attention. Artists are being spun into this whole thing about selling products, right? Selling digital downloads, selling CDs, selling vinyl, selling concert tickets, selling merchandise. But the big money is all in attention because that is a business to business service. Selling attention is business to business, and businesses have way more money to spend than regular people do. And the incentive is different. A business is spending money to make money. A consumer is spending money to consume. So you look at this. When it comes to the rate that you earn per 1,000 views, streams, opens, with YouTube, you earn a range of $1 to $20 per 1,000 views. With Spotify, you earn $3 per 1,000 streams. With Beehiiv, you earn $10 to $40 per 1,000 opens. Now, I'll tell you this. Anytime I run an ad on YouTube or Spotify, I am targeting that ad to the audience of an artist that sounds similar to the artist that I am running advertisements for. Both Spotify and YouTube will show that ad to users of their platform, not based on whether they're actively watching a video of yours or listening to your song, but based on their history. So if they have a history of streaming your music or a history of watching your videos, no matter what video they're watching, they'll see that ad. So other YouTube channels make money off of me targeting your audience, and YouTube makes money off of me targeting your audience, and you don't. Now, the thing with that is that all of these platforms operate based on associations, where if I'm an artist and I am in the algorithm on YouTube, where they're serving my music up through all of these playlists, and the same thing on Spotify, they're serving my music up on all of these playlists. If I include another artist in my newsletter and people click on an ad to go stream that artist's music on Spotify, you're taking my core audience, my fans that have joined my mailing list, that have all of this history on Spotify, and now it's being associated with the artist whose link they clicked. So now that artist can gain access to the algorithmic playlist that my music get on. If I'm in editorial, he might be on a pathway to get an editorial placement through the association with my fans, right? So it's like the artists carry tremendous value for other artists, and something like Beehiiv allows that value to be extracted, because currently the only real way to extract that value is through features, which is like I coordinating a feature, even trying to get the word out that somebody could pay you for a feature, and then having to write a verse and send it to somebody and have them sign off on it. It's a very cumbersome process. Now, when it comes to monetization, Spotify gets all the attention. Why? Because it's easy. You pay $20 or $60 for digital distribution. Your music gets put on Spotify. You go out, you get people to Spotify to stream your music. You make money whenever they stream it. YouTube, if you reach the monetization threshold, you get people to watch your videos. You earn revenue from advertisements. Artists wouldn't even bother to send people to YouTube or Spotify if they could monetize on social media, because that's where they get all the attention. So an artist might get 10,000 views of a video on Instagram, and that would translate to 100 views on YouTube or 100 streams on Spotify. But there is no ad network on social media. And before Beehiiv, that was the same thing that plagued newsletters. So if you had a Substack or something like that, the only way you were going to make money is if you got people to pay a monthly fee to subscribe to your newsletter, or you upsold them where you sold products and you used the newsletter to kind of like nurture the leads and move them to buying a product. You couldn't just monetize the fact that you had attention with all of these people that would open and read your newsletter. And Beehiiv changes that. Now, I'm going to be honest. I want you to use Beehiiv. I have a link to it in the description box. It gives you 20% off for 3 months. Now, why do I want you to use Beehiiv? I want you to use it because it is a game changer. It changes everything for artists. It gives us control over our audience. It gives us control over our value because it gives us control over the attention we drive. Attention is more valuable than any product you see any artist selling today. The Super Bowl generates over $1 billion in one day, and it's free to watch. It is not a pay-per-view event, and that is because of the amount of attention it drives. What I want to see is a network of artists on Beehiiv, where instead of an artist going and paying Facebook money to run an ad to maybe have their music exposed to the artist whose audience they tried to target, they pay that artist directly and put money in that artist's pocket and gain access to an audience that they control because that audience subscribes to their newsletter. And then when they build up their newsletter and get value, other artists pay them. And I feel so strongly about this that I will be personally walking groups of artists through the process of setting up everything with Beehiiv. If you sign up, you send me an email, we'll schedule a live chat, and I'll guide you through it. Because with all of these streaming fraud accusations, and now KYC, know your customer, know your artist, where they're having artists scan their IDs and connecting your personal identity to databases to flag you for global bans due to streaming fraud accusations, it's time for something else. Now, as always, y'all can agree to disagree or agree, whatever the case may be. Feel free to reach me at Payusnomind on Instagram, payusnomind@gmail.com, at Payusnomind on Twitter/X. This is Gift signing off. Payusnomind. Peace, good people. 1.